EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is proudly sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at Senior Transition Navigator and Luxury Homes of the Treasure Coast. They help seniors and their families navigate into the senior transition lifestyle. They offer a lot of different services like downsizing and decluttering and packing and moving, relocation, real estate sales, and more. So for a free consultation, reach out, give them a call at 772-783-2800 or visit seniortransitionnavigator.com and luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. Okay. Insurance. That has been a bit of a dirty word as of late because of what's happening with our homeowners insurance. However, there's another type of insurance that is very important when it comes to safeguarding our real estate transactions. And I'm talking about title insurance. And most of us, we've heard the term, but we're not fully aware of what that actually means. Well, joining me in the studio today is an expert on this subject, and she is from Fairwater Title. Heather Chess is the business development manager for Fairwater Title. They have offices in Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce, and you have a lot of information to share, so welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ellen. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you back, and you're back now, and this is a brand new little studio setup. Isn't this cute?
It's nice. I love it.
Very comfy, very cozy.
I want to curl up and go to sleep.
I know. We have blankets, we have pillows, we have all, and we have swivel chairs. I'm going to have to try not to swivel. Yeah,
Let's not do that.
We're breaking the studio already.
It doesn't take long, does it?
No, not with us. But before we start talking about Fairwater Title and the services and what title insurance is, what made you want to get involved in the real estate world? Because you've done it all practically.
I have. Well, in title, as far as title goes, I've done it all. Actually, ironically, I fell into it entirely by accident, but that's kind of the way these things go, I suppose.
Happy accident. We'll say happy.
It was a very happy accident.
Yeah.
You know, I started out as a receptionist, but before I knew it, they were pulling me in on the real estate side at an attorney's. He was a real estate attorney. So they pulled me in on the real estate side, and I was doing the back end of things. And then I started getting a little bit more into it. And before I knew it, I was in love with the field. You know, real estate is fascinating, and there's so many different avenues and tunnels to explore and ways to make money. It's endless.
Yeah.
So
it's the people aspect. You're helping them at what is a fun time in their life for the most part, you know?
You're right. And you know what? It's fun, but it's scary. And that is really, I think, my favorite part as far as doing a closing is I get to be that comfort for them and make it fun. It can be fun. It should be fun. So that's the beauty of it, is we get to turn the table a little bit.
Exactly. And that's why, you know, insurance is important.
It's very important.
So now, what is title insurance and why is it so important to the real estate transaction?
So title insurance is a form of protecting. It's an insurance for buyers and for lenders to protect them from any financial losses that could come from defects in title. So with that, you know, you got to think title. When you purchase a property, a baby property, say a property is firstborn, it's a little baby property, a plot, there's a root deed that's created in that moment.
So before a house is developed, you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then every time, you can have just land and it's a root deed. You can have a home developed on it.
Okay.
But that root deed, every time a new ownership takes over, a new link is created in this chain of title. And so as time goes on, it's our job as title insurance to keep track of that. So we'll view it, make sure everything's free and clear. That way, when we transfer it over to the new buyer, we can ensure that, first of all, we did our job. We want to make sure that we clean title.
Yeah.
And second of all, once you pay this fee, it's a one-time flat rate fee, unlike homeowners insurance, which is a monthly fee.
Yeah.
We have a one-time flat fee. And to ensure that we did our job correctly, we're telling you from that point forward of ownership, we will ensure you that entire time frame that your home is free and clear of any claims, liens, judgments. You'd be surprised some of the stuff that will attach itself to title. Like I've seen child support pull up on title.
Oh, wow.
And that, because they want their money, they'll attach it to whatever the biggest asset is. And once they attach it to that, if it is not cleared and it's transferred over into your name as the new buyer and you don't have title insurance to protect you from that, whose job do you think it's going to be to pay that person's child support?
Oh my gosh.
So it's important to have title. And I do believe that it is, it's often confused with homeowners insurance. So people don't take it seriously. They don't understand the necessity, but it is a massive net for you as a buyer and for lenders to protect them from any financial loss.
Very interesting. So then I am the third owner of my home. So that means that if I were to sell it, then whoever, like, because of course you would be handling the title, but there's a team. It's not just you and Megan Norvell, the owner, founder of Fairwater. She's part of our studio audience today.
She is.
Yes. And but whoever in your firm is researching, they would actually see who first bought the home when it was brand new. You know what I mean? And then who each subsequent owner was.
They absolutely can. They can go back as far as they want, really. But I think I've said this to you before. I feel like title is kind of an adult scavenger hunt. Because the things that pull up, it's our job to make sure title's clean. So then we have to do a little bit of digging, like we were talking about earlier. We research, but we love it. We love to look into these things and find anything there is to find and then make sure that it's free and clear, so that you can take it with peace of mind. Very
good. And then you said it's a one-time flat rate. And so on your website, there's information that somebody can plug in about the property so that they can get a quote. But there's probably like a range, right? So depending on the size of the home, right? It depends on how much, I guess, the title insurance would be. Is that how it works?
Correct. Yeah, you're on the right ball. Do you want a job?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No.
So yes, you're correct though. So in real estate, all of real estate is variable depending on where you live. In Florida, predominantly, most of Florida, seller does pay title. And the way that title payment, the premium, the way it's calculated is you can figure it's about 0.5% of whatever your purchase price will be for that property.
Okay.
So, for instance, a $300,000 home, you're looking at about $1,575, somewhere in that ballpark, roughly. Don't quote me on that one.
No, that's fine. But it's important for people to know, because a lot of times people think, oh, I want to buy a home, and they think that they can afford a $350,000 home. And that's the number they're focusing on.
Of course.
They forget about all the other things that come into play, like paying for, inspections and title insurance and things like that. Okay.
So, well, here's the thing. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah,
but
no.
One thing that people don't consider is, as a buyer, say you are in a bidding war, people don't realize, it's standard for seller to pay title. Doesn't mean they have to. And if you're a buyer and you're in a bidding war with somebody over a home, it's a nice negotiation tool that they can use. You don't want to necessarily up your purchase price, because that's going to affect other things like your loan and your monthly fee. It's going to go up. But if you figure you're looking at a $300,000 home and you offer to pay even half of title, or you can pay the full amount, you're now up $1,500 from the other bidder. They're probably going to take you up on that offer.
That's a really good suggestion. Very, very good. So now, but what happens when somebody wants to buy a home and for whatever reason, the title is a hot mess? Then I know that's a technical term that I'm throwing around, but if there are lots of problems, then how does that get rectified, like liens and child support and other things? How does that get fixed?
So for the record, the technical term is actually dumpster fire.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's nice. So, but that's our job, is to rectify it. And of course, we have all of the connections that we need to speak to make it happen. We have immediate connections at the clerk of court, and of course, we have people that for inspections and roofs and whatever it may be. We'll plug you where you need to go to get it fixed. Sometimes it might mean getting your hands a little bit dirty, but the point is that we're getting you to the finish line, right?
Right.
Whatever it takes, however long it takes. But the goal is to make it as quickly as possible.
Well, good. That's wonderful. But if there are issues, Fairwater Title would be rectifying that, or does the homeowner, does the current homeowner and does the future homeowner, do they have to get involved in anything?
The future homeowner should not.
Okay.
They should not. There is a possibility they might have to get their hands a little bit dirty. You know, sometimes there might be something that we can't personally do because it requires a social security number, that type of thing.
Okay.
But it would be that current homeowner's job to take care of certain things. But again, we're holding your hand the whole way.
Yeah.
So, and we'll make sure filing and that type of stuff, we'll do the dirty work as far as that end of things goes.
Okay.
But yes, rectifying, that's what we do. That's literally our job, is to cure title of any defects and things of that nature.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, somebody is interested in a home, they want to buy it, but really the seller should kind of have maybe a general understanding of if there are problems.
Right.
With the fact that they don't have a clear title, that they have liens attached. They really should, before they even put the home on the market, they should kind of clear this stuff up, right?
I wouldn't necessarily say that, to be entirely honest with you. If you feel like it's going to be something that, like, it's a new roof. I've seen roofs being done while the transaction's in the process.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily have to do it before they put it on the market. It wouldn't hurt. You know, I mean, if you're looking for a simple process, then getting that part out of the way quicker, then absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you don't know where to look, why would you, right? Why don't you go to a title company and make sure that you've got yourself set up and ready to go? And we can, of course, run a title search before you even are ready to put this on the market to see if there's anything on title that could be a problem, getting in the way, you know, things of that nature. So.
But even if the person went to the clerk of courts on their own on the website, does that show if there's any liens or anything? It doesn't.
I mean, sometimes, but not everything. Not everything. We have special tools that allow us to search in other avenues, not just clerk of court.
Very cool. Very cool. You know what we're going to do? Because Cindy is going to make me take a commercial break.
Cindy.
I know. That's it's her job to do. Yeah. So what we're going to do, stay tuned, because Heather and I, Fairwater Title, we have so much more to discuss. We'll be right back.
Create your island paradise at Sunshine Furniture during our winter sale event. Save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington, including the newest collection, Key Biscayne. Living room, dining room, occasional chairs, office, and media furniture with sophisticated design and a mix of coastal and Caribbean style. All Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need for your Florida living. We have the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Universal, Riverside, Hooker, Sea Winds, Barcalounger, Best, and lots more. At Sunshine Furniture, we're the outdoor furniture experts specializing in patio sets that withstand the Florida elements, and we have a gallery of Berlin Garden and Bollywood. Come in now for the best prices of the year. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach. Don't miss the 50% off winter sale on Tommy Bahama and Lexington going on now. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and visit our outlet store directly across the street.
Winner of the Tony Award for Best Play, Master Class, takes you into the world of opera legend Maria Callas. Hear her life-altering lessons as she teaches, inspires, and challenges her students. Based on real-life classes Callas delivered at Juilliard, this is a glimpse into the soul of one of the 20th century's most celebrated artists. Her voice, her artistry, her legacy. Masterclass is now playing on the beautiful Waxlack stage at the Riverside Theater. Tickets available now at the box office or online.
Hey you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I'm looking at the right camera this time. We have this new studio refresh. There's a bazillion cameras in here, and it's just a wee bit distracting. But that's your camera right there.
The blinding one.
Yeah, with all the shiny lights. Isn't that a lot of fun?
So fun.
Now, before the break, and you know what I forgot to do before the break is share the contact information for people that need to get in touch with you and everyone at Fairwater Title?
Okay. All right. So I'm going to preface this by telling you this is my personal cell phone and I don't sleep. So don't be afraid to contact me whenever you might need it. My phone number is 772-678-9407. And you can reach me by email at heather@fairwatertitle.com.
All right, very good. Okay, so now before, and like in the first half, we were talking about the importance of a clean title in the whole, selling a transaction. And sometimes people think, oh, we can cut corners. Okay, there's a lot of people try to cut corners. Now, I can understand that for certain things, but for a financial transaction as complex as buying and selling a home, you're silly. Okay, I'm just going to look at the camera and tell you, don't do that. Okay, I can say that.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I can because it's my show.
That's true.
Okay, I'm a little attitudey about this because there are some people that only buy maybe 1 to 3 homes in their lifetime, the starter, and then maybe they upgrade and then they downsize, right? That's very common. And then there are people that love to do the Airbnb and investing and blah, blah, blah. And that's fantastic. Okay. This for sale by owner, that makes me a little nervous. Okay. Is that really very popular? Are you seeing that a lot in this area? And for the for sale by owner people, what would you like to say to them? Okay, just keep it clean because the FCC will, yeah.
So the thing about for sale by owner is I get it. If you need to cut corners, that agent's commission, it's a little intimidating. You're probably not wanting to pay that. I do understand it. If it's necessary, if you really feel like you have to do it, so be it. But I do not recommend it. I do not, because we've talked about this, the dangers of, real estate is a sticky field. And we joke about this a lot, that it's entertaining. We never get bored because every single deal is different. And you will always have dumpster fires. It feels like there's never an opportunity that one does not rear its ugly head. And if you're new to real estate, you don't know what to expect. That's scary. But consider that, and then also it's your money. Nobody really wants to play that game. It's a little bit scary. And real estate agents, they're professionals. That is their job, is to delegate through the dumpster fires. But again, if it is necessary and you feel like you have to do it, so be it. But I would highly recommend that you still get in contact with a title company because those defects are going to be there whether you use a real estate agent or not. You definitely want to make sure you have that. We do have tools, which I did not mention this before the break, but we can give you a rough breakdown of a net sheet of what your expenses might be, and it will give you a better ballpark than just assuming or even going on Zillow. Zillow's not going to help you very much on that. But that aside, if all of those things are things that you're kind of pushing to the side, I would still highly recommend that you at least contact a real estate attorney, because they can at least go over the documents with you before you sign that contract. Because the last thing you want is to be bound into a contract and paying for something you didn't even know you were agreeing to pay for. So
I think that if I fell in love with a home that was on the market as a for sale by owner, I would then bring in a real estate attorney just for myself, just because I would be afraid.
Absolutely.
And then we were talking about investments, and then so there's the 1031 exchange.
Correct.
And so that's actually pretty cool, because as people are buying and selling homes for investment purposes, this 1031 exchange is a way within a 180-day window I did a little research. I'm not just a pretty girl, And I actually don't even like sitting this close to you because you're super pretty, but that's a whole other, I keep saying that. But with the 1031 exchange, within 180 days, if they can buy another property similar to the one that they've sold, they're not paying those taxes, capital gains,
You're
right?
Look at you. That's amazing.
But still, with 1031 exchanges, it's even more important because of that tight time frame for the title.
Correct.
So that's another service you provide.
And actually, 1031s are some of, Megan Norvell is the founder of Fairwater Title, and 1031s are actually one of her favorite things to deal with. So it's a great way. And I will say this, I do feel like I've been hearing real estate investment, it's becoming a buzzword.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming more and more popular and good. I'm glad it is, because in my humble opinion, when it comes to investing, you can invest in stocks, you can invest in Bitcoin, but that's a little volatile, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people, you could put $1,000 in and lose it overnight. Real estate doesn't really work that way. And you have a little bit more control over your money. It'll depreciate, but real estate's a roller coaster. So if it goes down, it's going to come right back up, and you just got to watch the trends and know what you're paying attention to.
Yeah.
But with 1031s, it is, I would say, even mandatory that you want to use a qualified intermediary, a QI.
Right.
And this is because, so a 1031 actually originates from the term, the Internal Revenue Code 1031.
They have a few of those codes. Very
Just a
tricky.
few. And I don't know if you've ever really had to deal with them, but they're kind of a pain in the butt. You know, they hold things to a very, very tight expectation. And when it comes to this sort of thing, it is highly, highly regulated.
Yeah.
So a QI is very, very necessary in this situation. They'll make sure you are by the book, that you're not playing any games where the IRS is going to come chase you down. But they also serve as a medium. So if you sell a property and you have these proceeds, but you don't have what you want to purchase with the next set of proceeds, they hold on to it for you. And that way, with capital gains, you've got to think that's a lot of money that you're saving that will allow you to upgrade your investment. Every time you have an investment, you move up to the next step. It's definitely something where you want to be able to put it somewhere where IRS isn't going to come and tax it out.
So it's going to hold it in that escrow.
Well, we're escrow, but they're holding the...
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
okay, I
we're a
understand.
different form of that.
It's see how confusing it is? That's why somebody like me needs you guys, okay? So then when it comes to 1031 exchanges, Megan can just do that day in, day out, all day long.
In her sleep.
So anybody who is slightly nervous about it but wants to be an investor, if you don't get in touch with Megan and her team, I can just say they're silly. What do you think about that, honestly? Because
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. You know, and on top of having one of the best in the game with 1031s and just, you know, title in general, we also have great contacts for a QI. If you need a recommended list of people that we prefer to work with, we have a great list. We have a really detailed but simplified way of breaking it down for you as well, so that we can kind of explain to you what you might be walking into. It's, you know, all around, we're the better choice, you know.
Well, I think that's wonderful. And I also love when things are simplified. So before we get to the end of the show, I'm going to circle back to another question, but I want people to know that Libby Weissman and her team at Senior Transition Navigator and Luxury Homes of the Treasure Coast, they help the seniors and their families with that exciting time of navigating into senior living, but they handle a lot of the details and help you walk through that process. It's downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, real estate sales. They can be reached at 772-783-2800. Their websites, seniortransitionnavigator.com, luxuryhomesoftheTreasureCoast.com. And so you and I consider ourselves to be hardworking, but also fun. Okay.
Good. I'm glad I'm in that category.
Yeah, you definitely are. And you and I, see, we have 2 minutes, but we're going to take 60 seconds, right, for an event that you co-produce. So it's business, but it's fun. What is it? Tell us about it.
So I actually met Ellen at this event, and after...
No, we've known each other before.
Really? No,
Yes.
I think... Okay, we only have 2 minutes. We're going to talk about that later, though. So when I met Ellen, and we just immediately clicked, and I knew that I wanted to keep getting involved in this. So now Ellen and I co-produce this. It is you meet on the third Thursday of every month. And it's a phenomenal place. It's really relaxed and enjoyable, and there's no expectations. We're not putting a microphone in your mouth. So just come and enjoy and network your business.
Yep, it's at Filthy's third Thursday in Vero Beach, an end-of-day networking event. And with that said, we only have a few seconds, so thank you so much for coming back on the show, clarifying title insurance and what it is and why it's important. This is not a corner to skip. And for everyone that's listening and watching, my name is Ellen Contreras. I'm host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope you have a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.